Yeah, WWE Draft 2016. Woo!
How you doing? Woo! Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the 90s Guys Show. Got my co-host here, Phil Money from the Horror Reel, and we're going to talk about the 2016 Raw and Smackdown Draft. So, we all know back in 2002 they had the very first draft. They've decided to make Smackdown live.
Yep.
Which is the first time they've done this in a long time. And the amazing thing to me is they're switching it to Tuesday.
Yeah, and I'm kind of surprised they're doing the draft on SmackDown and not Raw. That's
it would make more sense to me, at least.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll just go over the draft rules here real quick. They're a little different than the drafts in the past. How many drafts have there been now?
Well, there's one in 2002. I think
there was like a 2011 one. I remember that.
I think so. I think there's been at least 3 or 4. I don't remember exactly how many, but usually there's been some surprises, some drafts that not everybody was really happy with.
I think 2011 was really bad. Was it Cena drafted to SmackDown
and then yeah,
for whatever reason?
Because Cena's always been on Raw.
Yeah.
Except for when he first early on, you know, once he got drafted. The first time.
The Dr. Thugonomics.
Yeah, people were shocked too, because during that episode, you know, 2002, when he, you know, had the title. So, I mean, it was shocking for him to be drafted like that.
Yeah. But yeah, here's the new rules for the 2016 draft. Raw will get the first overall draft pick there. And then since SmackDown Live is a 2-hour show and Raw is 3 hours, for every 2 picks SmackDown Live receives, Raw will receive 3 picks. So that's a little different compared to what they've done before.
Yeah, kind of shake things up a little bit.
And then the tag teams count as 1 pick unless commissioner/general manager specifically only wants 1 member of the team. And then, of course, you get 6 draft picks from the NXT roster. So it could be anybody from NXT. There's a list of superstars if you check out WWE.com. You got the list of the male superstars, you got the tag teams, and then, of course, you got the female superstars. But there's no one listed from NXT, so no one knows yet. Could be anybody.
My biggest thing is, before we get into our picks, is everyone's been talking about this. Why did they go on ahead and release all those other guys when they're wanting to bring guys back from the past, when they knew this draft was coming up?
No kidding. This would have been the perfect time to shine for Damian Sandow.
Yeah, why would you get rid of guys like Sandow?
Who else they get?
Well, they got rid of Hornswoggle.
El Toro.
Yeah, El Torito.
El Torito.
Yeah, El Toro's a Mexican restaurant.
There was a few others. I don't remember.
Didn't they get rid of the other Funkadactyl?
Oh yeah,
Trinity.
Yeah. Or no, Cameron.
Oh, Cameron. Yeah, which they weren't using her anyway.
Yeah.
But it just amazed me that, you know, every time they do this, they always do, you know, sort of like a release, you know, around that time of they get rid of some of their talent. Knowing that this draft was coming up.
But now they're planning on bringing people that haven't been around for...
Yeah, Shelton Benjamin, Charlie Haas. Yeah, Jimmy Wang Yang.
And you said Kurt Hawkins was another?
Yeah, Kurt Hawkins.
Released a couple of years ago.
And then also they're wanting to possibly sign some of these guys that are in the Cruiserweight Classic.
I can see that.
Like Brian Kendrick.
Well, I think they signed Tajiri already.
Oh, they did? That's cool.
Tajiri's
awesome. He's a legend. The rumor of Kurt Angle.
I don't think that's going to happen. Not yet, anyways.
If it does, I hope they bring him back to make a new Team Angle.
I think what's going to happen, I think Angle, if he comes back, is to face Rusev. I think Rusev is keeping that U.S. title all the way
For a
until
long time.
WrestleMania at least, and I think Angle's gonna make like a surprise appearance.
Beat him for it.
And
that'd be the best thing for Rusev to hold on to that title, especially after the burial that John Cena gave it.
Well, he had it for a full year before, right? Before Cena?
I don't think it was quite a full year.
Okay.
I know it was a long time. Because I went to the local, the house show in Danville, which is near us, and Rusev is a good competitor. He's entertaining. It's just up until this point, they gave him that stupid angle where, him and Lana split up. Yeah,
Ziggler.
It was this really stupid idea.
Yeah.
He's better with Lana.
Well, what killed his momentum was him losing to Cena. What, twice, 3 times, whatever it was?
2 out of the 3 matches. Yeah.
So that kills his momentum.
Oh, big time.
Cena kills momentum. Look at Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, no kidding.
But yeah, you want me to do my picks first?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I pretty much just went by the entire list that they have on WWE.com. Here's my Raw picks first. Not in any particular order, but I think here's the names that will remain on Raw: Dean Ambrose, your WWE champion, of course. Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, the entire Wyatt family. I don't think they're going to split them up. They did that before. It didn't work out.
Big mistake.
With, they tried to make Eric Rowan a face. That didn't go through. Luke Harper did okay on his own, I thought, but Bray, he kind of suffered from the lack of a stable. And then, of course, you got the U.S. champ Rusev. I was torn on this. New Day, your tag champs. Dr. Nick here, he reminded me that they're still the tag champs.
Can't split them up.
I'm not going to split them up. I figured it would. Maybe, I don't know. Something's going to happen with them. And then I think Randy Orton, he's coming back. I think he'll be on Raw. He's supposed to fight Lesnar at SummerSlam, so they'll make that a big deal. Speaking of Lesnar, I think he'll be on Raw as well. I think Sami Zayn will remain on there to feud with Kevin Owens off and on. I think Baron Corbin stays on Raw. Apollo Crews, that's another name I think will stay on there. Darren Young, it seems like they're really trying to push him, so I think they'll keep him on Raw as well.
Well, yeah, because he's the #1 contender for the Intercontinental title, yeah.
Well, I had Miz, though, on SmackDown. So
okay.
Unless title changes hands on SmackDown, you never know.
It happens.
I think Neville remains on Raw. He should be coming back soon from his injury. Sheamus. I think they're going to split up the Lucha Dragons. I think Sin Cara is going to remain on Raw, and then Kalisto will be on SmackDown. I think Titus O'Neil will stay on Raw. Enzo and Cass will be on Raw. The Ascension, I think they'll keep them around for a little bit. Dudley Boys, I don't think they'll split them up again like they did. Was it the 2002 draft? I think that's what it was.
May have been.
05, something
yeah,
like that.
I don't think so. I mean, they've learned their lesson. They're
that only lasted like, what, 4 or 5 months.
This is their last run. They're going to keep them together.
Yeah, I think they're staying. I think the Usos stay together. I think they'll be on Raw. The Vaudevillains, I think, will stay together on Raw. I think they're going to split up the Social Outcast. I think Bo Dallas will stay on Raw. And Heath Slater, he's kind of up in the air because he just had a bad injury, he said.
Yeah, like right above his eye, had some like 14, 15 stitches.
So yeah, he may not get drafted right away. I don't know. It just depends. As far as the women, I think Charlotte, of course, your women's champ, will be on there. Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, of course. Natalya, I think she'll stay on Raw. And Dana Brooke, I think she'll remain there with Charlotte. As far as SmackDown, I think AJ Styles will be one of your centerpieces. Here's a name for SmackDown that we just talked about earlier, John Cena. I think he's going to be on SmackDown. Roman Reigns, I think he'll be moved to SmackDown with his little suspension. Maybe get the spotlight off him for a bit. I think a lot of your part-timers, like The Big Show, Mark Henry will probably be on SmackDown. I think The Miz, Intercontinental Champ, with Maurice, his wife, will be on there. Dolph Ziggler, he probably needs a change of scenery, just to stay on SmackDown for a bit. Alberto Del Rio, I think he'll be on SmackDown. Another good name here for the IC title, Cesaro, I think he'll remain on there. Chris Jericho, another part-timer. Is he about up on his contract?
I don't think
so.
so.
Was on this list. I thought he was up soon.
No.
And then another one, Demon Kane, I think he'll be on SmackDown. And then you got Jack Swagger, Zack Ryder. So a lot of mid-carders, lower card guys. A couple tag teams. You got Breezango, Tyler Breeze, and what the hell's his name? Fandango.
Yeah.
I don't know why I forgot his name.
They should have called him Febreze.
That's what I said. That sounds better than Breezango.
Yeah, Breeze.
Febreze. And then you got Gallows and Anderson, the buddies of AJ Styles there. Golden Truth, Shining Stars, if you remember them.
Yeah, Primo and Epico.
And then, like I said earlier, the Social Outcasts. I think Curtis Axel will be on SmackDown. And then as far as the women, you have Eva Marie, Paige, Summer Rae, Naomi, and Alicia Fox. So if, I just made it like that, so if they ever do like a 5-on-5 or whatever type matches they tend to do usually,
yeah,
it'll be those types of teams, I guess. And then they're doing 6 NXT roster members will get drafted as well. My picks are Finn Balor, American Alpha as one pick, Bailey. This one may or may not happen. The Mighty Don't Kneel, another tag team, will be one pick. Ty Dillinger, and then that's another surprise pick, Austin Aries. I think he may come up. I would say it's either him or Bobby Roode. And then for the general managers, I think they're going to bring back Vicky Guerrero. I think she'll be back on SmackDown, possibly. And I think Eric Bischoff is going to be general manager.
It'd be awesome.
Monday Night Raw. That's my predictions.
Pretty much for SmackDown-wise, I probably have to go with Dolph Ziggler. Rusev will probably stay on be on SmackDown with the U.S. title.
Mm-hmm.
Miz, because of his recent push, I could say him and Maurice on Raw. Dean Ambrose, of course, is probably going to be on both shows, because he is the WWE champion.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see them making another title. It'd be really foolish for them to make another belt. It'd be really stupid.
And the dirtiest player in the game doesn't think they will either. If you heard his podcast or read parts of it,
yeah, he doesn't.
He doesn't think it'd be good.
No, it would be a horrible idea. There's no need for it.
No.
I think the biggest reason why that would be a bad idea was because it would take away from having just one title. I mean, it's that important.
The heavyweight title?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't think they have enough main event talent yet.
No.
They haven't pushed enough guys yet to have 2 titles.
When they first did it the last time, there was enough guys to compete for both titles.
Well, yeah, and they were pushing. By that time, you had Eddie Guerrero, you had Lesnar, you had The Big Show, you had Taker, you had Cena up and coming.
Mark Henry.
Mark Henry was there. What were some of the...
Angle was still there.
Oh, yeah, Kurt Angle. Forgot about him. Chris Benoit.
Yep. The guy we don't talk about.
And then on
Stevie
Raw,
Richards?
Booker T.
Yeah, Stevie Richards. He was the one that
was the champ.
Stevie Richards was the guy that won the title at WrestleMania in 2004.
Speaking of Stevie Richards, that was another name they were talking about signing.
I wouldn't mind seeing him.
I believe it was Stevie Richards. What's those other 2 names I read on Wrestling? I can't remember now. But he was one of them.
Yeah. Shelton Benjamin, Charlie Haas.
I think it would be cool if they brought back the world's greatest tag team and had them feud with American Alpha.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
I think that would. I think American Alpha is going to go to SmackDown. I think that's going to happen. I think if they do sign Benjamin and Haas, put them on SmackDown, and you'll hear that. What was their theme?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool.
I'd also say for the tag team. Enzo and Cass on Raw, New Day on SmackDown. Well, probably both shows because they're tag team champions.
Yeah.
Wyatt's I could see on SmackDown. I'd have to say for obviously Charlotte's going to be on both shows. Dana Brooke will probably be on Raw.
Yeah, but what happens to these people when they lose the titles? Are they just going to be demoted to some brand?
Well, I know eventually a lot of times after a certain period of time, you could jump to different shows. Remember that some people did that?
Okay, yeah.
Where officially such and such has been, decided to switch to SmackDown or whatever, Because, it's happened before where halfway through the year someone's went to a different show.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, plus if they win a title, they're on both shows.
Yeah.
So, you know, if there's a title switch, which I think after Charlotte, Sasha Banks should be the next women's champion. That's who I think is going to be, because she's won 2 matches against her.
True.
So I think she'll be...
I think it'll piss a lot of people off if she doesn't win the title anytime soon.
Yeah. Well, she is Snoop Dogg's cousin.
Yeah. I think it'd be dumb if they waited until WrestleMania next year. I hope that's not what they're planning.
Like, I have nothing against Charlotte, but I don't know. I don't think she needs the title.
Unless you're trying to just make her like the top monster heel.
Yeah.
So I don't.
Bayley drafted to Raw.
Mm-hmm.
Finn Balor to Raw. Trying to think here. I'd have to say for like sort of the mid card, Zack Ryder, SmackDown.
Yeah.
Because he's also on NXT with Mojo Rawley as the Hype Bros.
Mm-hmm.
Hideo Itami's not even on the thing, but if he were to be drafted, which would be kind of stupid because he hasn't really. I mean, he's been around, but not enough to like merit moving up.
I wouldn't bring him up. Yeah, I think that's going to be the next major feud for the NXT title. Tommy and Samoa Joe. I think that's going to be the next major feud whenever he's healthy. Who else? Did you pick AJ Styles? Where do you think he's going? And Cena?
That's a good question.
Do you need water?
Yeah, Dr. Nuck will be right back. I need water. I'm about to die. Keep going.
Okay. So yeah, while he's away, I'll do my. We'll do some with the GMs. Here's who who's here I will think that won't be the next GM. I don't think Teddy Long will be back at all. I think he's just too old. You know, he just seemed not really into it when he had that appearance on Raw. Who also got Johnny Laurinaitis. I don't think they would bring him back for a full-time role. I think it's going to be Vicky Guerrero and Eric Bischoff for sure. I'd be really pissed if they brought back Mike Adamle or the anonymous general manager for Raw. That was so stupid. Yeah, I don't know. There was one name missing on the list of the women's wrestlers. I know she was injured, so I'm assuming she's just going to get picked at a later date. If they bring her back up to the main roster, maybe they'll just leave her on NXT. Tamina, Naomi's partner, tag team partner. Yeah, she was on that list, so she may not be back for a while, and it's possible that she could be on NXT. So, all right, Dr. Nick's back. Got a drink in a
Got some blue. Cool it. Sorry. I'd have to say, like, what would really surprise a lot of people would be if they did sort of what they did when they did the draft. You know, where like they did matches where they always do, you know, like whoever wins the match,
yeah,
they get the first pick.
I think they'll possibly do some of that. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe they'll do something different because the rules are a little different this year.
They could always do Raw roulette.
Oh, God.
Have all the picks on a wheel and spin it.
What if they did something like that for the general manager choices?
Well, the thing that's really going to piss me off is the fact that they're going to have this whole list of talent who, I mean, and when they came up with the idea of making SmackDown Live, they finally realized that they can't just have one good show and one mediocre show.
Because no one watches SmackDown because it's taped. I mean,
yeah.
All you got to do is go to Wrestling Inc. or WrestleZone.com, read the results, and be like, oh, look.
Well, because like back in the day, SmackDown was good, just as good as Raw, because SmackDown would continue a storyline.
They don't now.
Now it's just a recap of Raw.
Throwing together matches.
It's a recap of what happened.
I went to my first ever SmackDown Live over in Indianapolis earlier this year in February. It was just, a lot of it was thrown together tag team matches.
Yeah, it's almost as bad as like, I mean, house shows are fun.
Yeah.
but it doesn't continue a storyline. It's just stuff they've come up with, you know, this guy and this guy.
Like the main event of the SmackDown 2 was, well, this is before Jericho turned heel against AJ Styles. It was Jericho, AJ Styles, and Mark Henry against the New Day. That was when they were still kind of heelish.
Yeah.
What were the other matches? Kevin Owens was the IC champ, so he fought the Big Show. I think the Lucha Dragons were there. Dudley Boys were there. I think they fought the Luchas, maybe. I don't know. Social Outcasts were there. It was just a bunch of random matches. And what made me mad about that show, me and my buddy, we got in, got our tickets scanned. We were going to get food and beer before going down. Well, while we're in line to get our stuff, we heard the Superstars music playing. First it was Stardust and then Goldust. I was like, what? So we hurried down there. They had a dark match. I was like, why are they doing this as a dark match? Because they ended up, I think Goldust was on one of the shows afterwards. Maybe? I don't know. But yeah, they did that. That would have been a good match to have on SmackDown, just a regular match. Maybe continue a feud for a pay-per-view. And finally get that.
The rumor is that
Cody's out.
Cody Rhodes, WWE supposedly sent him a cease and desist letter so that he can't use the Roden name anymore.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's stupid.
The Brock Lesnar thing, he is under investigation for possible doping. But here's what the investigation has figured out so far. He got tested 3 times. The 4th test is what revealed something. He's on an inhaler because apparently he has really bad asthma.
So is that going to hurt his draft pick?
I wouldn't think so. But automatically, when he failed the test, everybody automatically thought steroids. His trainer revealed that because of where he lives in Minnesota, certain times of the year his asthma acts up. So his inhaler actually can show up on a drug test. But if he does get suspended, if it's not an inhaler and he does get suspended, that means he gets banned from UFC for, I think it's like 3 or 4 years. And if he does get suspended from UFC, and if they don't suspend him from WWE, there'll be a riot. Because that will basically prove that WWE's wellness policy is a pile of shit.
Yeah. Because
they suspended Reigns. So if he gets suspended in another company and doesn't get suspended at WWE, that's, hypocritical.
Yeah.
That's basically says, well...
I never found out what was Reigns suspended for. Was it steroids or was it drugs?
It wasn't... I think it was like some type of enhancement stuff.
Okay.
But it wasn't exactly steroids. It was... Because WWE's wellness policy has a list of stuff that's illegal.
Yeah.
It's not just steroids. There's other, like blood doping, like Lance Armstrong got in trouble with, There's a big list. My biggest thing with this draft is I want this to be able to showcase both shows, have good amount of talent on both shows, and the storylines from Raw carry on to SmackDown.
Like when SmackDown first started.
Yeah.
That's what it was for.
That's the way it should be.
You had that feud between the ministry and the corporation, eventually the corporate ministry against The Rock and Austin.
Because, in all honesty, I have not watched a full episode of SmackDown in I don't know how long.
I just read the results. So
I do too. Yeah, there's no need to.
I mean, a lot of the times back then, over the last few years, I usually work Thursday night, so I never watched it anyways. And even when it first started, I didn't have UPN, so I never was a huge SmackDown fan. I never got the channel.
I had UPN. I didn't have UPN, but my brother's wife, his girlfriend at the time, she lived up in Morris, Illinois. They got UPN, so she would bring down the tapes of SmackDown. Yeah. And then when it switched to WB23...
I think by the time I got UPN was when it was kind of fading out, SmackDown, and then they ended up moving it to...
WB23.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they moved it to some other channel, Sci-Fi.
Yeah.
This guy right here, Seth Rollins, I think he'll be on Raw. I'd say Kevin Owens will probably be on SmackDown. Sami Zayn, probably on SmackDown. Eva Marie, SmackDown. Naomi, SmackDown. Raw, I think Raw is going to be interesting because I'd say my general manager picks SmackDown. I'd have to agree with you on Vicky Guerrero. It'd make the most sense.
Yeah.
Teddy Long, they just released Teddy Long last year.
No, was that?
Yeah.
Not that long ago? Oh,
Yeah, it was last year.
Ago. Wow.
Yeah, something like that. Raw, I'd have to say either Bischoff or if they really want to shock people, somebody, I mean, it would piss a lot of people off. Do one of those things where, like, Vince comes out and he's like,
He'll be the...
yeah, I'm the general manager.
Or a name we haven't thrown out yet, Triple H. What if Stephanie picks him to run Raw?
Yeah, because Triple H hasn't been seen.
Continue that authority crap.
Yeah.
You know, bring that back again, unfortunately. That could be possible.
Yeah. But, I mean...
you had a name a few days ago when we talked about it a little bit, Daniel Bryan. Didn't you say Daniel Bryan?
Yeah, Daniel Bryan was also a name thrown out there.
I think if he does, it would probably be SmackDown. I don't see him doing Raw.
No.
Yeah, I never really thought if they brought back like an old wrestler from the past to be the GM. What about Mick Foley? Think he'd do it? What's he doing nowadays? I know he's got that show on the network, but they haven't really thought about if they had any like actual wrestlers, not just the personalities themselves.
Yeah.
Tony Schiavone. We were going to put the butts in the seats.
Yeah.
Did you pick NXT people?
Oh, yeah, I did.
Balor, right?
Yeah, the only other people I'd say from NXT that would be logical to bring up would be like Carmella, bring her up. Nia Jax eventually. I don't think she'll be on the draft.
Yeah, I think she'll continue her feud with what's her face? Asuka? Asuka?
Oh,
How do you pronounce it?
Whatever that is. It'll be interesting. Eric Young, maybe.
Yeah.
Bobby Roode.
I still think Austin Aries may be up there.
I was kind of disappointed James Storm left.
Yeah.
I wanted beer money in WWE.
Yeah, I was going to say, that.
I wanted beer money.
That'd be cool. Where did you say where you thought Reigns was going? Raw or SmackDown?
Reigns, SmackDown.
SmackDown?
Yep. Okay. I'd say Kalisto is going to SmackDown. Sin-Cara on Raw.
Okay. Well, so I don't think we talked about too much. Out of the tag teams, do you think there's any possibility that any of the tag teams will actually get split up?
No.
Besides Lucha Dragons?
Besides Lucha Dragons, no. I don't. The Social Outcasts.
Yeah.
They'll have Slayer go back to singles competition. Curtis Axel will probably get released at some point.
I think he needs a character change. I think he just needs to go back to his real last name, Joe Henning. Just have his real name. Yeah. He's the son of Kurt Hennig, Mr. Perfect. I mean, they could have
him start acting like his dad.
Yeah. Just do the vignettes.
Yeah, do the vignettes. Those were hilarious.
Yeah, and chew gum, have a towel, you know. Maybe have a manager. Who could be his manager? I wouldn't put Heyman with him, but not Coulter because he's gone.
Yep, he got released.
They could bring someone in as a manager. I don't know who, but I'm sure there's someone out there.
Yeah.
Ty Dillinger. You can be his manager.
Yeah.
Perfect 10.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't think we're...
Titus O'Neil, go to SmackDown.
Okay. Did you do like Kane?
Kane, SmackDown.
What about Del Rio? Where you
Del Rio, Raw.
Okay, yeah, we different on that. I think he's on SmackDown. What else you got? Ascension? Where do you think they're going?
Hell.
I'm surprised they're still around, to be honest.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think other than that, we pretty much got everyone covered. So you don't think New Day's breaking up? You don't think the Wyatts are breaking up?
Nope. I think Luke Harper will be back, and if they're smart, they'll have Braun Strowman go on to singles competition.
I think they're going to split up another tag team besides the Ascension, or not the Ascension, the Lucha Dragons and Social Outcasts. I'm just going to throw this out there. I think Shining Stars. I don't know. They just don't have it as a team.
It doesn't matter what gimmick they're under, whether they're the old Matadors
unless they bring back Carlito. I think they desperately need someone like Carlito. He can be the mouthpiece because he's more aggressive on the mic than Primo and
Plus, people legitimately hated him.
And they could be a heel tag team. I could see them being villains. I mean...
Not the villains, of course.
Because I think, okay, here's your heel tag teams. You got Gallows and Anderson as one.
Yep, they're going to Raw. Or Smackdown.
You got the Dudleys as another. You got the Vaudevillains, so that's 3. And the Ascension, I guess, so that's 4. Your faces are New Day, Enzo Cass, Golden Truth. Oh, Breezango's heel, right?
Yeah.
So that's, what, 5 heel teams? So your faces New Day, Enzo Cass. The Usos. Golden Truth. Shining Stars, what are they? Are they heel or are they tweeners? I never really understood their gimmick. Well, I've only seen one of their
I think they're heels, but they're like kind of like a Bo Dallas heel.
Okay.
Where they want people to like them, but they boo them anyway.
Okay.
They do heelish things.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It seems like there's more heel teams than face teams. So maybe someone's going to turn face. Who knows? I don't know. Unless they bring up, well, like I said, American Alpha, they'll definitely be a face team. On the main roster if they happen to be brought up. I mean, yeah, that's pretty much most of the names I think we covered.
Yeah.
I don't think we left anyone out. Did you say where you thought Heath Slater would go when you came
back?
Smackdown? Okay.
Yeah.
And then your GM picks were Vicky Guerrero and who? Bischoff? Okay, so we pretty much...
Those are about the only 2 people that I can think of. I mean, that'd probably be the best.
When you stepped out of the room, I mentioned who I thought will not be some of the choices. Teddy Long was one. Johnny Laurinaitis. I said I would be pissed if Mike Adamle showed up. Or...
Coffee Kingston.
Excuse my language, the fucking anonymous Raw general manager.
Well, you remember when he called Jeff Hardy Jeff Harvey?
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, those are some of the worst GMs.
Yeah. But, I don't have anything more to add unless you do.
No, that's all I got. This is our predictions for the 2016 draft, winner of the rules, our thoughts of who would be the GM. Oh, we didn't talk about really who we thought they would sign as like the old timers, because they were going to sign old talent. Like I said, some of the names I saw, I don't know if these are true or not, or just rumors. Stevie Richards was one.
Yeah.
I think Jimmy Wang Yang was posting pictures, supposedly having a meeting of events. You said Kurt Hawkins, possibly.
Yep.
Carlito, I think was the name thrown out there. I don't know if that's true.
I think that was one.
MVP, was that another name?
Yep.
MVP. I would be happy if MVP came back, so I was a fan of him.
Oh yeah, he was good. Ball.
Yeah, MVP. I think he would be a good candidate to come back. Probably on SmackDown, possibly. I think they're going to use SmackDown to put over the up-and-coming newer talent. So.
Yeah, because MVP's been in the business long enough to where you would consider him to be a veteran.
Yeah.
So I mean, you could use him to put over the younger guys, which is a great opportunity.
Yeah, which is what I think they intended to do. MVP, Carlito, Stevie Richards, Jimmy Wang Yang, Kurt Hawkins.
Oh yeah.
Haas and Benjamin possibly.
It's always good, especially when the veterans.
Well, that's if you watch so I was watching a lot of the old Nitros and stuff. The up and coming talent like Greg the Hammer Valentine, Rock and Roll Express.
Yep.
Those were the veteran types that put over Prince Iakea, Alex Wright, people like that. So I think that's their main goal. Kind of fill out the roster for the house shows because they'll split all that up.
Oh, absolutely.
Pre-shows. I don't know if they're going to do the pre-shows for the pay-per-views because they're splitting up their pay-per-views too. I think.
Oh yeah, I remember them doing that.
Yeah, because I saw online Wrestling Inc. I think posted it. I don't know if it's true or not. Like the Champions, Night of Champions. That's supposed to be in Indianapolis. So I thought about going to in September. I think that was supposed to be like a SmackDown show. So I don't know if they plan on doing it that way. And I think they're going to rename it Clash of Champions, the WCW name. That was a rumor.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're sticking with that.
Well, there was also a rumor that they were wanting to do a Bash at the Beach special on the WWE Network.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
In
Actually
Hawaii,
do it.
I think it was.
Oh, Hawaii.
I think that's what somewhere.
Interesting. I could see it being in Florida.
Yeah,
Possibly.
they could do that.
Yeah, I think once you have the draft, it'll kind of be more focused as far as what they're doing with the pay-per-views. We didn't mention. We know Raw and SmackDown are split, obviously, but Superstars will have whoever's drafted on Raw will be on Superstars as well, and then same with
Main event
for SmackDown.
Yeah. Which I don't watch either one of those shows anyway, so.
Yeah, because I've seen the tapings for both Main Event and Superstars. There's just, at least Superstars, there's like 2 matches, and then they'll throw in a bunch of replays from
Vignette,
the Raw or whatever.
The usual.
And the Main Event will have 2. I think they take 3 matches at that SmackDown I went to over in Indianapolis back in February. So yeah, they had 3 matches, and then they'll probably show old footage from the SmackDown before.
Yeah.
And then go from there. But yeah, those will be split too. And then you got the pay-per-views. We agreed just one world title, one WWE title.
Yep.
IC title. You think they'll bring back another another thing we forgot to mention? Another mid-level championship. I always thought it'd be a good idea to have either the television championship make a comeback or a WWE Network championship. But I don't know.
Cruiserweight title.
That too. Yeah, especially with this Cruiserweight Classic stuff. I could see that. They do have a lot of people that could be a Cruiserweight champ. I like the idea of the television title. I forgot the rules of that. The old Nitros I watched, at the time William Regal was the champ, they had a 10-minute time limit. If the time limit was up, the match is over, you're still the champ. You didn't lose, you didn't win.
Yeah.
So I think that'd be kind of interesting.
Well, because they used the television title to elevate a lot of guys. Stone Cold Steve Austin.
He had it. Like I said, Regal.
I believe Arn Anderson had it back in the day.
There's a lot of wrestlers.
Yeah, there was a lot of guys that had it.
Alex Wright had it. Prince Iaukea had it. Didn't Disco Inferno win?
I think Brian Pillman also had it too.
Yeah,
there was a lot of guys that it was like their Intercontinental title.
Yeah.
They used it to elevate the guy to the next level.
Yeah, I think it'd be a good idea to have another mid-level championship because a lot of these guys are going to be mid-carders, especially with just one world heavyweight title.
Right.
So I think it'd be a good idea either the television title or the cruiserweight, or maybe both. There could be both. There's a lot of guys, especially if they're going to add more to the roster with NXT guys and the older talent coming up. So I think it'd be a good idea to make it lead into storylines. Otherwise, you're just going to have stupid storyline. That's what I'm worried about with this draft.
Yeah.
There's
always the fear of having just storylines just for the sake.
I don't want to see a storyline of someone, someone hanging out in the locker room. Someone stepped on their big toe or something. Actually.
Yeah.
You stepped on my work.
Yeah, I will fight you.
That's my fear. They're gonna have some stupid crap, but I don't know. We'll see. Draft's coming up. What's the date? July 19th, SmackDown.
Yep.
Is that on at 7? 7, right? Or
yeah.
8?
Yeah, it's on 7. Yeah.
7 Central or Central Time. So that'd be 8 Eastern, and then 5 Pacific. Yeah, so I don't know. I'll probably watch it. We can watch it, maybe film some footage, live reactions. Possibly.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah,
could be a possibility. So we'll see. If not, we could probably do like a post video, give our thoughts on it.
Well, I wonder if they'll do like they did previous years, where they did some of them on the show.
Oh yeah.
And then they had the ones where they announced them on the website.
I think they will, since SmackDown's only 2 hours. I think they did Raw. I think most of the people, would be announced, since that's 3 hours.
Yeah, because there's no way they could do the entire thing.
Because technically, if you think about it, you're only going to have an hour and a half of live television. Your other half hour is usually commercials. USA has a lot of commercials.
Yeah,
it seems like.
Well, they don't have TV shows anymore. So.
Oh my God, yeah. Yeah, they got to get rid of their good shows. So anyways, so yeah, you got the 2000. I can't even talk today. 2016 draft, July 19th. Yeah, you saw our opinions, GMs, who's going where, what NXT guys are coming up. So yeah, we'll. I think it'd be a good idea to either do a post video or maybe a live shot.
Yeah.
And then either live reactions or reactions afterwards.
All right.
Give our opinions.
This has been Dr. Nick and Phil Money on the 90s Guy. Check out his channel, The Horror Reel.
The Horror Reel.
And for those with the benefit of flash photography.